Welcome people to the World Wide Web, and it's look what I've been watching, episode 3. So what do we have for you this week? I'll throw a few pictures up here and there. So as you can see, it's been quite a popular weekend of Netflix movies, specifically chick flick. I also have a Marvel movie I review. I'm going to save it to the end, and it's an fairly old oldish Marvel. I wonder if you can have a guess what it is. But we should go right. So we have 3 chick flicky type movies from Netflix. So we'll start with the first one, Your Place or Mine. So this is Ashton Kutcher and Reese Witherspoon. This is the kind of new rom-com, and I must admit, I have been quite enjoying some of these. I mean, we used to get a lot of rom-coms in the 90s era, maybe early 2000s, and it's went dry. And you do miss some of the classic movie, like Big Adam Sandler and like The Wedding Singer and 51st Dates that he was in and other stuff like that. So I was looking forward to this. So it didn't disappoint. It was a good film, Ashton Kutcher and Reese Witherspoon. It wasn't necessarily chemistry because they're not really together in this. It's kind of the whole scenario of them swapping places due to a set of events. So they're friends, they hooked up once and then that was it, they went off. And then 20 years later she's got a son by someone else who you never see. And then she goes to see him, kind of hang out, and unfortunately she's come into where he lives and works, I think it's in New York, to do a course as well. So we're going to spend time, we haven't seen each other in years, and then unfortunately her friend who's going to look after her child gets an acting job. So Ashton Kutcher goes and looks after the child because he's not working at the minute because he's got quite a lot of money and he's kind of a contractor, and she goes and does it, and it's them kind of living in each other's worlds. And stuff, and it is quite good. I say it's not your typical rom-com because I say they don't spend a lot of time together on screen. They're talking to each other and stuff, but got their own lives. It's switched over, and it's just how kind of different people they are, but they're the same and stuff. And I say it was good. It was rom-com. You kind of know where it's going, but this is all about the journey of how they get there and who they are and kind of them discovering themselves. So I thought it's good. Plus, obviously, they're people, it's a rom-com, but it's a rom-com of like parents, slightly older people than what you would have the younger generation, like in the 90s, it was like people in their 20s or stuff. So yeah, I did like that. So yeah, I definitely Your Place or Mine, so I definitely recommend that. So on the second one, so it's The Perfect Day. So fairly newish actors this, so I can't remember the main bloke's name. He is from The Recruit I started watching and really struggled with that. So but yeah, again, this is kind of the she's all that-ish kind of but not. He's a young lad, he's poor, he ends up taking this person's cousin on a date and then realises that's an app worthwhile, and he kind of is he kind of dates, and then he goes on dates people and helps them out with stuff like that. And then, as you know, obviously he's kind of pretending to be something he's not, and then he ends up falling in love with this girl, blah, blah, blah. And, it's like, I give it a 5 out of 10. It was all right as things go. Say it's not amazing, it's not crap. It's just in the middle. It's a little bit predictable and stuff. And again, maybe I'm a little bit older now, and this is more the newer generation and stuff. And so maybe it didn't. But yeah, I say it was all right. But so that was The Perfect Day. Quite a short one of that. And then the third one. So this was a series. This is called Deadline. So this is 4 episodes if I can count. So yeah, 4 episodes on how many times I want to say that. 4 episodes on Netflix. So you watch the trailer, and or you see kind of a clip, and it's about a report. And I had kind of nothing going in. A lot of people were raving about it. I think it's 2022 series. It's quite a new one. So basically, it's about a reporter. There is a woman. She possibly has killed her husband. And then he is basically tasked with investigating it by interviewing the wife because they haven't kind of found the evidence and stuff to say she has or hasn't. There's just a lot of question marks. And then you just learn about her life and stuff, and all these details come out. And there is a fairly good twist near the end. I'm not going to say too much. Obviously, the first 3 episodes, you kind of think you know where you're going, and then the last episode takes a complete U-turn. which that U-turn, I say, is it's like you have builds, 3 hours. I think they're about 45 minutes an episode, so you get like 2 hours on of building up these characters, and you're getting used to them and who you think they are, and then something kind of reverse happens over the course of the last episode. Again, not giving up details, and you find out stuff, and I don't know if I would necessarily say the ending was justified, but I can understand why it was put there and the characters, and I did have a suspicion it was something to do with twins or something, but that was completely false. So, the fact it threw me was, at least that's good, the good writing and acting and stuff. So yeah, it's so very journalistic wise, and there are a few bits you're going, would that really happen and stuff, but by the by. So yeah, again, I'd probably say 5 out of 10. It was all right. Say it's a four episode series. It's quite quick to watch. So that is what mainly I've been watching. So now we had the big one, the Marvel film. So what Marvel classic have I been watching? If you could call it a classic, and it's the 2005 Man-Thing. So I bought this HMV many moons ago. I think it's probably like 2007, 2008, so it only just probably come out, and I couldn't remember it. There's been a lot of Marvel movies. Obviously, we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania coming out Friday, so and this had kind of popped up, and I'd seen Werewolf by Night where you had Man-Thing. So I was like, I can't even really remember what the old one was about. It's in a swamp, and having seen Swamp Thing as well from DC, it all could get confused in my head, so I thought I'd watch it. And exactly the low budget B-C-list movie, what I thought it would be, is exactly what it turned out to be. Now, Rachel Taylor in it. So she plays Triss of Jessica Jones. So she was about one of the only redeeming factors in this. I think this is, as IMDb said, it was her first film, but they also showed she had done something in 2004, and this was 2005. So I don't know. Basically a sheriff comes to the swamp, a lot of people being killed, and the premise of that some angry oilman has basically, or an angry businessman is mining oil and that in the swamp and polluting it, and this is what is causing the Man-Thing to come, and he basically kills anyone. He doesn't really have any grudge. Don't really know the comics too much. Have only seen the Man-Thing in the Thunderbolts comic series. So I have a very small perception of him, and I didn't realise he was, But yeah, it's a very, B-list movie. It's 15, obviously. It starts off with a couple getting quite raunchy in a thing, a few undressing scenes, shall we say, and then he gets stabbed through the chest and there's blood everywhere. So it's not what you would expect from Marvel. It is kind of a bit more darker, which is, I think, going from Swamp Thing and obviously Werewolf by Night, this character is kind of more tailored for a little bit more darker. But yeah, it just seems the budget and everything behind it is very low. Is low budget on it. It just is, it's before the Marvel Studios were what they were. I think this is just after the rights had reverted back, or no, this was just before the rights reverted back to Marvel. But if you, and they do say, like, obviously, if you look at the posters of Missing People, there is a picture of Stan Lee, so he does kind of have his cameo in this one as well. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested, watch it. I mean, the CG, it's all right. You don't really get to see too much. Like, again, he's menacingly kidding, and there are people like morons and stuff, but there are good people that he kills as well. And again, not knowing the character, I would assume if he's polluting his swamp, he's going after the people that are polluting his swamp, and that's the main focus of it. Yeah, and it is what it is. So I say, probably the best thing to list. Look, if you're interested, look up the trailer, give it a watch if you think it's alright, but otherwise, I said, wouldn't really waste your time. To say, I didn't mind watching it again. It's only an hour and a half. But yeah, I wouldn't rate it home. Obviously, we get a lot better Marvel movies than this. And to be honest, this did spur me on that I might go back and try and find if they did a Dolph Lundgren Punisher, release that, and even the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury. I think that those films are cheese all together, and it'd probably be quite a laugh to watch all of them. But anyway, I've been Cypher Sigma, and this is Cypher Sigma Screen Times. This has been my series, episode 3 of Look What I'm Watching Now. Hopefully you enjoyed. You know, any reviews, anything you feel like, you know, you'd like to see me review, good, bad, or anything, put it in the comments and I'll try and get to it. I'm always looking for more movies to add to the collection. Anyway, Cypher Sigma, sign out. See you in the next one.